Okay guys, so before we get into this video, this is not a paid advertisement, but I just wanted to shout out a fan. Here's his Twitter. He's trying to sell Indianapolis Colts and Indiana Pacers cards. If you want to check out his Twitter and contact him there, or get on his whatnot account and be able to buy cards from there. The link to both of those will be in the description, so make sure to check him out. He's a longtime supporter of the channel. So if you're looking for Indiana Pacers or Indianapolis Colts cards, which if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you are, go check him out, bro. He's a good source. But with that out of the way, let's get on to the video. When Raymond Berry retired from the NFL in 1967, he was the NFL's all-time leader in receiving yards and receptions. He was also top 10 in receiving touchdowns. He was a 6-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, 2-time NFL champ, and even received MVP considerations in 1959 and 1960. He led the NFL in receptions 3 times, receiving yards 3 times, receiving touchdowns twice, and won the Triple Crown in 1959. Obviously, he is a Hall of Famer and was the go-to option for Johnny Unitas. But Berry played during an era in the NFL where teams didn't pass very much and never played in a 16 or 17 game season. He played during the 12-game and 14-game era. During that time, he also had a 6-year Ironman streak. But this means that Berry had significantly less games to do what he did compared to today. This man had over 1,200 receiving yards in just 12 games. One year, he was selected to a Pro Bowl without catching a single touchdown pass. Raymond Berry was just that good. Sadly, we don't really talk about his accomplishments very much today. He was drafted in the 20th round, and most people didn't even think he would make the team. Today, there isn't even close to 20 rounds in the NFL draft. But he did end up making the team, and was the best wide receiver of his era once he retired. So what would his numbers look like today if they were adjusted to a full 17-game season? That's what we're going to figure out today. But first, let me tell you how I got the numbers that I got. Let's use his rookie year as an example. Berry played in all 12 games that year, but finished with just 13 receptions, 205 yards, and no touchdowns. If this was a 17-game season, Berry would have played 5 more games. So we take Berry's 1.1 receptions per game and multiply it by 5. We do the same thing with his 17.1 yards per game, and finally we do the same thing with his 0 touchdowns per game. Obviously, this will leave us with uneven numbers that have decimals. So to take care of that, we just round anything up that's 0.5 and above, and round anything down that's 0.4 and below. Any year where Berry missed games will just be subtracted from the 17-game total. So, for example, when he played just 9 games in 1963, he would have missed 5 games that year with the 14-game season. From there, we just subtract 5 games from 17, leaving us with 12 games played. Now that we have that figured out, let's talk about the amazing numbers that Raymond Berry would have put up if he played in a 17-game season. First, let's look at his best and worst seasons. His worst year per game wise was his rookie year, like I talked about earlier. With the 17-game adjustment, Berry would have 19 receptions for 291 yards and 0 touchdowns. Just 6 receptions more and 86 yards more than he originally had. But his best year would rank as one of the best seasons by any receiver ever, finishing the 1960 season with 105 receptions, 1,839 yards, and 14 touchdowns when adjusted to 17 games. The year before that, in 1959, Berry won the Triple Crown by leading the NFL in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. So what would that season have looked like today? When adjusted to 17 games, Berry would have finished the year with 94 receptions, 1,359 yards, and 20 touchdowns. Berry's career stats would go from 154 games, 631 receptions, 9,275 yards, and 68 touchdowns to 205 games, 841 receptions, 12,390 yards, and 94 touchdowns. This means Raymond Berry would now rank 34th all-time in receptions, 23rd all-time in receiving yards, and 12th all-time in receiving touchdowns. He would also now have 5 1,000-yard seasons, 3 10-touchdown seasons, and 4 80 reception seasons. If you want to see what his complete career stats would look like, here is every season adjusted to 17 games with his accolades. Originally, this video was supposed to end here, but then I got another idea. Raymond Berry was forced to retire after the 1967 season due to injuries. So what if Raymond Berry played 17 games every year of his career and never got hurt? Obviously, this is unrealistic, but let's talk about it for fun. Berry only had 4 seasons that he missed time due to injuries, those 4 being 1961, 63, 64, and 67. In real life, he was selected to the Pro Bowl in 3 of those seasons despite injuries, which is pretty impressive. When adjusting those 4 seasons to 17 games, Berry now has 7 1,000-yard seasons and 6 80 reception seasons. His career stats would now be boosted to 896 receptions, 13,196 yards, and 98 touchdowns. With these numbers, Berry would rank 28th all-time in receptions, 19th all-time in receiving yards, and 12th all-time in touchdowns. If you are wondering what the yearly numbers look like, and what the difference between his real-life numbers and original adjusted numbers, here they are. Does this video make me seem like a nerd who likes to do math for fun? Yes. In reality, I hate math, but this was actually fun to do because it was really simple math. But don't let that distract you from the fact that Raymond Berry's story is one of the best you've never heard of. He didn't start a game in high school until his senior year. He then played 1 year at a JUCO before he ended up transferring to SMU. Even at SMU, he wasn't seen as very good, only catching 33 passes in 3 years and spending some time playing outside linebacker and defensive end in college. He was seen as too skinny to succeed in the NFL and was drafted very late. But he ended his NFL career as one of the best offensive weapons the league had ever seen. His 1960 adjusted season would rank him as just one of 6 other players to have 1,800 receiving yards or more in a single season, with the likes of 2022 Justin Jefferson, 2015 Antonio Brown, 1995 Jerry Rice, 2015 Julio Jones, 2021 Cooper Kupp, and 2012 Calvin Johnson with him. Raymond Berry deserves more recognition than he gets. I hope this video helped put into perspective just how good he was. But anyways, I'm Limitless Polls. Thank you guys for watching. As usual, had fun making this video. I'm gonna have fun editing it. The math at times was a bit tedious, but hey, I got it done. I suck at math. I only got like a D in Algebra 2. I think my highest grade I've ever gotten in a math class was I had a 75% in geometry, so that shows how good I am at math. But I got it done, and I think my math all checks out. I mean, somebody tell me if I got it wrong. I probably got something wrong, but I think I got it right. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.
But you get the mix right, nigga, put it in the blender. Hell yeah, I'm Wingstop. Bitch, I'm selling chicken tender. It's like the beef with energy and water like Kimber. Hey, turning, looking like dinner. It's like I got the bag, boy or girl. Nigga,